Today we are at the San Diego Zoo and we're going to be exploring the Africa Rocks area. Africa Rocks is the San Diego Zoo's newest area that was launched in the summer of 2018. It was open previously in the end of 2017 for about half of it, but it fully launched there in the summer of 2018. And we're going to explore through this area today. We're starting out at the top of the Africa Rocks area. This is the area between the Australian outback and the Elephant Odyssey region. You can enter the Africa Rocks area through two locations, up here at the top of the park, but also down at the bottom in the valley near the Huame Cafe. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go, entering through the Africa Rocks entrance area, coming from the Australian outback. First thing off to the left here is a Dippin' Dots stand. Dippin' Dots currently not open. And there are some baboons over here. Right over here across from the baboon area is a bunch of fauna and bushes and plants that you can come take a look at in their desert native habitats. There are no animals in this area, just plants. So if plants aren't your thing, feel free to go ahead and skip it, but it is something that you can walk through and take a look at. This just loops around. It goes right back to the baboons. So there's no harm, no foul in coming up this way. If you're looking for a little exercise, you can take the extra long path. Got the Malagasy tree aloe here. That's this little plant right there. And the mousetrap plant right there. Kind of looks like the tree of life in miniature. Almost, maybe, sort of. The baboon exhibit is quite large. If you come over here, there's a barrier preventing you from getting too close for COVID, but you can look at quite how big this is. The path then wraps around down here to the bottom. There's a few signs occasionally throughout here letting you know that these exhibits are made possible through the donations of certain individuals. So they have signs like this one right here, letting you see all the sponsors and donors, the major gifts, the partners and the friends that make the zoo possible. Right here is a bit of a crossroads. Going down that way takes you further into Africa Rocks, but before you do that, there is an area over here that goes up towards the Kopje. The Kopje is still part of Africa Rocks, even though it existed prior to the Africa Rocks expansion. It's not quite as far as the Elephant Odyssey, so let's go ahead and take a look through this area first. We do have the Bachelor Eagle. Taking a look at this guy and a couple of times that we've come through. He's up there in the tree. He's always pretty far away, so I can never get super close to him with the camera, but there he is up there. Here's what he looks like on their signage. Let's go up and take a look some more in the Kopje area. There's hardly anyone back on this path today. If you're looking for a nice quiet area, the African Kopje area is always a good place to go to find some peace and quiet. See, there's a sign pointing us off to the Elephant Odyssey that direction. We are back right over across the bushes. There is the parking lot to help you gauge kind of where we are. There are some barriers in the way to prevent you from getting too close. Here's another viewing area for the Bachelor Eagle up this way. Off to the right, we do have the Dwarf Mongoose and rock hyrax. One of the animals is sitting there up on top of the rock. Kind of hard to see him there. He blends in right with all the rocks. He looks like a rock. That would be the rock hyrax because he looks like a rock. Supposedly over in here is a clip springer, though I do not see him. I see another rock hyrax over there in the sun. You can view this area from the other side, as you see people over there looking through here. So if you walk along the main area, it's visible there. We'll swing back by that way on our way through. We have some various birds in and through here. Won't bother reading off all of those, but you can see their pictures there on the signage here. Here to the left is the serval. Serval is a cat-type creature. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, here he is. Moving around. Though he's staying over there. Wish I could get him to come a little closer. He seems to be just pacing there in the back. Doesn't want to come out today. Let's see if I can see him better from over here. Nope, not really. They do want you to stay on the sidewalk if you go through here. Got a trumpeter hornbill hanging out up there. Some of these animals are hard to see, and my zoom in function does not work all that well. But you can see them up there. This here is that other viewing area for the hyrax. Oh, there's the clip springers. And, oh, what's that little guy? Look at those little thingies. Those are the dwarf mongooses. Look how tiny they are. And the clip springer hanging up there on top of the rock. Another list of all the donors that made the Kopje area possible. And this path is going to loop us back down into the main bit of Africa Rocks. If you had to continue going on back where we just were by the serval, you could head towards Elephant Odyssey, but that's not part of the scope of our tour today. We want to focus mainly on Africa Rocks, so I'm going to head back down into that area now. Here we are in the Ethiopian Highlands area of Africa Rocks. And this is the same baboon exhibit we were looking at earlier, just another viewing port for it. Walking down through here, we have a nice billboard showcasing all the different animals of Africa, the different species and the different types. Lots of fauna and plants still through this area. Africa Rocks is one of the nicest areas of the zoo, considering it's also one of the newest. Here again, once again, the baboon exhibit. This is a huge area for the baboons. You can see some sitting on the rocks there. This area truly is meant to be explored from the bottom up. The bottom has a nice entrance leading into the penguin area where you feel like you're walking into a whole new land. But you can come from the top too. Nice huge viewing area here. They do ask that you maintain social distancing, 6 feet apart while you're in the viewing area. You can see some of the baboons hanging out down here. Also some sitting area through here. Lots of benches all throughout the park. We have some more baboons here. This is a different exhibit though. There is a gate that they can close if they want to keep this separate. Right now it's open so the animals can come freely in between all of the different areas. But it is a separate exhibit if they want it to be separate. This here is a kids area that they can come in and play around, but it is currently closed. And here's another viewing area. We have a lot more animals out down here, it looks like. We're going to continue our tour down. More animal viewing areas over here. There's another bigger viewing area down at the bottom. This is for the Galata. No baboons in here. Separate exhibit. I don't typically like going into bird exhibits, but we'll pop in there and take a look for you today. They do ask that you make sure that both doors close. There is another entrance to this area down below. We can walk through that in just a minute. But this is a nice wide open area for the birds to fly around in. This is not nearly as dangerous feeling as the aviary that is in the center of the park. I always feel like a bird is going to poop on me there. I get through that area. I buzz through that area as fast as I can. But there's not much to look at through there because the birds are really small and they're hard to catch on camera.
I don't know. It would be fine.
Let's continue on walking down through here. This is a zigzaggy area that goes right through the heart of the park.
We're at 102.
Don't turn away from me. There's another one up there on the rock. These viewing areas are quite large and very spacious. Let's see what's over here through this little window.
Yeah, they have a red chest. That's why I said no, none of them.
Maybe they put food here and allow the animal to eat. Does look like we have one right here with his back towards us. You checking out that monkey or whatever he is, Ben? Right across from here is the leopard area. Usually the leopard is straight ahead, walking up and down a path that's over there. We did just see that he's hanging out up in the tree. It's kind of hard to see because I'm pointing directly into the sun, but I'm going to try to shade it. And you can maybe see him there up on the log. This is the area where he frequently is on the other side of this door. They keep him up in here and he's prowling around. Oh, he is still up there. Heading back towards the lower aviary area. We're gonna go in here again. This is the lower area. Okay, come on. Let's go. So there was the upper viewing area that we were earlier. So little tiny birds in there. Oh, and there's a water area through here. There are some fish in there, very difficult to see in the current lighting. Got a nice waterfall right through here. Here's a list of all the birds that are in this area. Very colorful looking birds. Short little area for the aviary, but it's enough for me. Let's go on back out. Do you hear that noise? What is that noise? Are these the lemurs making that noise? We gotta go down here and find out. We're gonna bypass all this for now. You can see it. There's nothing over here at the moment. Looks like a bunch of monkeys. I just missed the action of whatever was going on down here with the lemurs. Does look like there are different types of lemurs in here. Red-collared lemurs, ring-tailed lemurs, cockerel, sifaka, red-ruffed lemur, and the blue-eyed black lemur. Although all I see are the ringtails. Oh, he's down here? Alright, thank you. I'll check him out. Oh, there's the black one. The blue-eyed black lemurs are hanging out right there. They look kind of spooky. See, block them out. You just look like bumps on a log for you guys, but all I see are their eyes and the black fluff. Does look like the red ones are hanging up in the trees there. Very difficult to see. But if you see two reddish lumps hanging up in the tree. Looks like one of the red lemurs came down. Let's come down through here. It looks like he's getting something to eat. Over off to the right of the lemurs is the honey badger exhibit. I did just happen to see him, but I think he ran in a hole before I could get the camera out. He was right over this area. Not exactly in the most accessible area, right off here of the main path, but very difficult to get into where you could see him. He has a lot of high areas that allow him to stay obscured from view, and these bushes. Kind of hard to hear, but they do have a waterfall. Personally, the falls are a much better entrance coming from this direction, which is why I'd recommend, if you've never come to Africa Rocks before, coming from the bottom first, as this is the view that you would get rather than the view that we just got. You do not have to go under the falls if you do not want to. They do have a path right here that avoids going under there. Moving from the waterfall down through, we are now more than halfway through the Africa Rocks exhibit. To the left is a water area where they've got a crocodile. See if I can get in close to the croc. Do you see him there up against the wall? And it does appear that there is another one in the water over here. Okay. See if I can get a little closer to him. There he is. Let's zoom in on him there. Perfect. There's a little crocodile, not a big one. There are some turtles in here. And some other things as well. Not a very easy area to space out. And obviously a high-touch area for kids. This area used to be open, the Rocks Box area, and then they've got a stage up here. When we came during their nighttime celebration, they were using this. They do have COVID signage up here, so it's possible that this is open at certain times. It says a properly worn facial covering is required for service. That leads me to believe that this area is open during COVID. It's just not open right now. Whether that's because it's only 10:30 in the morning, or whether that's because it's not open on Sundays, I'm not particularly sure. But you may discover that it is open if you come. Here we enter the penguin exhibit. Now, the penguin exhibit is the first thing that you will see if you enter Africa Rocks from the bottom. This is an alternate viewing area for the penguins. We can see one little penguin there. If we come up here, we can see more of them checking out the rocks in the sun up here. If we head down this way, we can go check out the penguins a little easier in their main tank area. Tends to be a tad crowded in there because it's an enclosed space, but it is a better viewing area. Before we reach the big main viewing area, they also do have another lower outdoor viewing area to see the penguins under the water but out in the sun. Looks like they're all just hanging out up on those rocks, sunbathing, so I doubt we'll even see any penguins down in the main habitat, but they do have various fish that we can go check out. Now we're heading down into the main exhibit. If the penguins are particularly active, you can see them swimming through this area. There are no penguins here today, just the sharks and fish. Let's walk down here, see if we can get a better look at them. Excuse me. This is wheelchair accessible, so you can get down there, even if you have a wheelchair, or you can take your stroller down there. And this is the upper viewing area. Lots of space.
Look at the shark.
As we leave the main exhibit, it spits you out right here next to the Kwame Cafe. There is a vehicle-only access road that goes up that way. And you can see the new elevator and bridge that they put in there quite some years ago, around the same time that they added Africa Rocks. And so that concludes our tour of the Africa Rocks area. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so that you can be notified when we post more content. Thanks again for viewing, and we'll see you again next time.